You've probably been through this busy intersection of Hikes Point, where Browns Lane and Hunsinger meet Taylorsville Road. Fast food and shopping malls line the way.
Good morning, how are you today?
As drivers whiz by. Everyone's on their way somewhere. It's not the place you'd expect to hear
stretching my comfort zone
or find.
I like the details.
Usually there's not art places like this.
The reactions are as colorful as what's going on.
First time I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, it's awesome. We're helping paint a mural for the back of the Big Lots. It's really fun.
This doesn't seem like a likely place for a mural project.
Dave Nicklees, who is a manager of the properties here, had decided they were going to repaint this and called and said, we'd like to do something different with that wall. Where do we go from there? And I said, well, there's this neat program called the Paint Project.
All right, guys, you ready?
Center for Neighborhoods Paint Program stands for Producing Art and Neighborhoods Together. We are a community organization and desiring to build great neighborhoods, and we believe public art is a significant part of that.
It's definitely piqued the community's interest.
So what is this little house here? When General Electric came to town, that's the reason this area was developed. And they built all these little neighborhoods.
Artist Liz Richter is behind the concept for the piece.
I got stuck on the triangle and I realized that that was a good way to break down a timeline and to separate the eras in a way that made sense.
Colorful shapes separate historic panels from the very beginning of Hikes Point in the 1700s.
George Hikes was my great-great-great-great-grandfather, and he came here in 1790 from Pennsylvania.
Members of the community have offered up photos and many, many stories to help fill in those once blank historical panels.
They had a grist mill and a small distillery and regular commerce to support the burgeoning community of Louisville.
So I was gonna kind of spike it up more.
Taking a trip back to their past and a very different time.
This corner during the early part of the 20th century was just full of gas stations. Photo archives of Courier Journal of women pumping gas during World War II, and I thought it was a nice nod to what was going on at the time, and then also because there's 3 of them, it kind of represents me and my 2 female interns banging out this mural.
Kids are an important element of this project.
I'm very passionate about including an educational element whenever I can, and also just getting the public involved in art projects and letting them feel ownership of the project.
We worked on fixing up and kind of just straightening out the different triangles and different shapes around.
I can definitely tell you guys went back and touched up the white too. It looked really a lot better. High school groups that are focused on art coming to work on details, all the way down to elementary schools coming to visit. Wow, that was fast. Once the picture parts are finished, I'll send some stuff to your schools about the history for you to learn more about it.
I thought that the wall just kind of took up a lot of space, and now there's art on it and people can come and look at it and enjoy it.
It's important to involve a wide variety of students. That way, at each level, they're getting some experience working on a mural. These scale of projects don't happen very often.
It's an ambitious project. The main wall is 180 by 18 feet alone, and it took longer to complete than originally expected.
I'm happy to say that we have 2 female interns that are working with me.
I've talked to Liz a lot about her planning process for the mural and how she found out about the opportunity and other opportunities that she's looking into, and she's a pretty good role model.
It's really important to me to get to involve other girls because this is a very male-dominated field. Back and forth between black and white. Women teaching women about the arts is just about as good as it can get.
It's clear to see, through the traffic and strip malls, that this spot of color has truly impacted members of the community.
It's just beautiful, and beautiful things make me want to paint.
Our hope is that the mural kind of captures what Hikes Point is to us, not just what it was when we were little kids, but what it's grown into, and this is a unique place.
And possibly even created new dreams for the future.
It was just neat to see people really kind of re-engage with their history in maybe a way they haven't in a while. And a project like this in our paint program, I think really allows then that conversation to carry forward for the next generation.
For more information about paint projects, call the Center for Neighborhoods at 589-0343.